I'm Grant. I am sappy, broken up with my girlfriend, wet rag kind of guy. Picked up by my buddy Paul, taken away for a good time weekend. Get into copious amounts of trouble. Physically, it's just been so out of control. Like, from the beginning, I was wanting to do like as much of my own sort of minor stunt work as I could, like as much as they let me. And so physically, it's been really demanding, like just all the running and jumping and falling, and but at the same time, it's cool. I'd have it no other way. I wouldn't want somebody else stepping in, and you know, as realistic as possible is what I'm about. He's cool, man. He's really energetic, and he's. I'm really lucky to be involved with this project. It's my first film because he's just total enthusiasm and lets you know when you're doing things right, lets you know when you're doing things wrong, and you know to have someone let you get away with doing things wrong would be a real shame. And he's just straight out, and it's really cool. And I've learnt so much from him.
Paul, everything's a challenge for him in this movie because he's just used to sitting in his surf store and, you know, dealing with nice ladies and his mates, and then he's put against some of the craziest shit you could ever imagine. It's just like, you know, really, you know, for a human to handle, he's just like overloads. So a lot of times I think I'm doing these scenes and it's just like, you're seeing stuff happen in front of you and you're just like, a normal person doesn't deal with this stuff. So yeah, so he blows his mind, really. Every night we basically have to sprint with a guy chasing us with a gun. We sprint across fields, we jump fences, throw ourselves over cars, in cars. It's really physical. Every night it's just like, okay, you've got to react to someone exploding in front of your face and sprint that way, and then guy's going to run out with a shotgun and then sprint that way, and then, you know, so on, so on. Very spooky and very kind of, I don't know, but it should be good for the jumps. A lot of those scenes when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, this is quite, you know, it's one of those like out of nowhere, face or a gun, or you're thrown in a meat safe and there's hooks in there, and it's like all this kind of attitude.
She meets the boys on the bridge with Lisa, and there's this really nice scene where we have which really shows all of the four different characters really well. And I think it sort of puts Kelly in a nutshell when she comes out of the car and she's like, hey, you going to the party, and you guys in a band, and it starts off the progression of her character. But in terms of the boys, well, Paul's Lisa's boy right from the start, you know. She can't really move in on his territory, but any boy's a good boy when it comes to Kelly. No. When you see Greg and how much energy he has, it's really hard to be tired and miserable. He's been the most fun director I've ever worked with, I think. This is a really witty, well thought out, well written script that keeps you hooked from the beginning to the end. And the characters are all good. You like them and you dislike them. They're human beings, you know, they all have faults. Yeah, plus a lot of really cool car chases and some hot chicks in 80s gear, and yeah, I mean, what more could you want?
Greg is kind of like this little kid, and he's always smiling and he's always excited. And I think the rule is he's only allowed 2 coffees a day or something, and probably no V. And, you know, he's just always in his huffer hoodie and his gumboots, walking around. He's kind of like so excited and passionate about this film and this story and these characters and everything that it kind of you just kind of get drawn into his energy and you can't escape it. So literally you get on set and you know, you just want to make it good because he's just so excited and, you know, it really rubs off on everyone else. And, you know, he's just one of those people that everyone just kind of falls in love with. He's just this little bundle of energy and it's just, no, he's cool. He's very cool.
I started out wanting to make a very simple little horror movie, and that's how I got all my great crew and cast. It's just a simple horror movie. You guys can come and work with us. But it's turned into something much bigger and much better than I'd ever expected. When I wrote the film, it was kind of simple and very easy to shoot, but now I've come out here and we've started making, it's turned into a fantastic horror epic. Two mates go on a road trip for the weekend, a surfing trip. Take a shortcut, the sun sets, get lost, meet some girls, run into a few unsavoury characters, and have to get home by dawn. I commute between Auckland and Hamilton in New Zealand. Every week I travel. It's like an hour-and-a-half trip, and it's through the location of the film. And I was driving this road at night, you know, every week I'm driving this road in the fog and in the dark. And I was seeing things and I was going, whoa, this is really back block New Zealand stuff out here. Oh, there's a film out here. So I set the film in this location, in the Waikato, because it's A, beautiful, there's probably nowhere else in the world like it, and B, it's super, super, super scary. And so hopefully anyone around the world will see it and go, wow, where's that? We're not going there, but where is it? If you were going to name films, it would be The Evil Dead meets Deliverance meets The Sixth Sense. Me and Brett Nichols, my cinematographer, we've been working together for, say, 5 years, 6 years. Shot a lot of music videos together, a lot of clips. Yep. And over that time, we've developed a certain amount of different looks that we're getting known for. And so we brought that into this. And we went, we don't want to shoot a film set at night like everyone else shoots a film set at night. Let's shoot a film set at night and light it up bright, like beside the camera, 40 cars with the headlights on. And what we've ended up with is a scary film that looks beautiful. All the characters look great, and you can see. You only see a little bit, but you can see what's out in the blackness you don't want to see. I'm just hoping an audience will come away feeling absolutely rewarded that they went in to see a horror movie and they came out having seen a horror movie. You know, they didn't come out going, oh man, I didn't get scared at all. They'll be coming out going, yeah. And you know, go and see that film. It's good. It's scary.
So it's really a fun genre to work in because you get to do a lot of really fun stuff. You know, you get to get out all the effects and just go for it. And but the great thing about this one, and the kind of the older style horror films, which this film sort of comes out of, in terms of not really relying on effects to create the fear and to create the scares, but relying on the scenario and the idea, and the characters and the situation that you put the characters in to provide that fear. It's what I call it. It's kind of gothic horror for the 21st century. I mean, that's really what it is. It's Edgar Allan Poe. It's all of those kinds of you know, that sort of gothic feel, you know, the darkness, like I said before, the darkness, the, you know, the threatening characters, the threatening scenario, the unknown, and seriously scaring people with that. And, you know, there are lighter moments in the film because I think you need to do that anyway. You need to let the audience relax for a minute. But they're few and far between. I mean, once the ride starts, it doesn't stop till the end. We wanted to create something really unique and different. You know, most horror films, or a lot of films that are shot at night, have a very sort of night blue look. Ours is completely opposite to that. We don't worry about how we're justifying where the light is coming from. It's just there. And it's a different kind of light than you normally see in night exteriors. It's so, the quality is really different. And it gives it a really eerie feeling about it. It's something, because you're looking at something you haven't seen before, you're not really sure what you're looking at that's different, but it is different. Mm-hmm. And it just plays on your mind a little bit. It's quite unsettling. It's really good. It's kind of that oh no thing, you know, don't go there, don't open that door. You know, the whole film is about that basically. It's, you know, the whole scenario is you know, don't cross the bridge. I mean, basically that's the mistake they make, is they cross the bridge. And once they cross the bridge and they go into the zone, it's just, you know, it gets bad. Well, Greg does it really well. He does the American voiceover kind of thing. Two boys take a road trip to the heartland of evil and meet the locals.